My name is Sandra Camm, formerly Brown. I have lived in Geelong all of my life, and it worries me that governments can see fit to mass medicate us by putting fluoride, which is a toxic chemical waste, into our water. I became involved in this measure because of all of the people that I saw who were suffering. I have friends who suffer badly. They cannot even shower in this water. I have a friend who has to have two baby baths in the back garden and catch the water from her roof and actually have her wash outdoors in cold water. She gets very sick and is extremely asthmatic. I believe that much of the fallout in Geelong is much higher than anywhere else in Australia because of the industry. I would hate to think people would consider us against industry. We definitely are not, but we feel that the toxicity should be checked. We should be given a simple blood test or urine test to formulate whether we are or not over toxic, I suppose the expression would be. Since I've become involved in this, I've researched it quite widely, and it's amazing the amount of people who are affected by this. The most important point I would like to make is that we were promised a referendum. We were promised a people's choice. We didn't get that. We were told, like it or lump it, and that's Big Brother tactics. Since 1986, I think the date was, that we fought it before in Geelong and we had it stopped. However, this time it seems to be something they're bloody minded about putting in our water, and it seems to be being pushed all over Australia. I'm concerned that nobody is being tested anywhere. And if they want to do a chemical test on me, I'm very happy to have one done. I am allergic in many ways to chemical reaction. They say that fluoride is not, that you aren't allergic to fluoride, but I would question that. Why is our asthma in Geelong so prevalent? Why have we got huge numbers of Alzheimer's sufferers? I think these tests should all be done to alleviate that. This would then prove whether governments were correct or not.
So should the people of Geelong be given a choice on whether or not fluoride is added to their water supply?
Whilst I believe nothing foreign, which is supposedly in Dr. John Carney's eyes a nutrient, I would suggest that we should all be given a choice.
There was a citizens-initiated referendum held recently in Geelong. Can you explain this for the viewers who may not have heard of it yet?
Yes, a few very, very concerned citizens formed what they called a voice, and that was the voice of the people. And they did this survey, and there are many thousands of people who wanted to have a choice or a voice. And this is still alive and gathering momentum as I speak.
So Dr. John Carney, Victoria's Chief Health Officer, he's come under heavy scrutiny by both professionals and citizens for his active promotion of forced fluoridation. What is your view on Dr. John Carney, and would you go so far to say he should resign? If so, why?
Yes, I think Dr. John Carney should resign, and until this is all sorted. I believe in my heart, or would like to believe, that he has done this for the right reasons. However, I don't think that there's enough data on how it affects the human beings. If you get animals in Portland, for instance, near the Alcoa factory, who recently were reported as having skeletal fluorosis and having to be put down, would you put people down if they got skeletal fluorosis from overburdening them with toxicity? I think Dr. Carney needs to come out with more information. He needs to be investigated, and so too I think the government needs to take a hand here and really look into the background of fluoridation. It concerns me that we have learned that United Nations could be involved here and that they're saying we do not have human rights anymore. I would like to question this. I think human rights are such that we shouldn't have to take a so-called nutrient. I'd like to be tested to see how much of this nutrient I am overdosed in, and put it in our water. And I would say that it looks like this is a worldwide contract, should we say, that's been signed by many countries.
That is for fluoridation to be put into water?
Yes. I would ask people to consider this. When the Netherlands, after 50 years, took it out of their water, Japan won't sanction it, China will not have it. They say it lowers the IQ of their young. Belgium, we buy it from Belgium. There's many other countries.
Do Belgium fluoridate their water?
No, they do not fluoridate their water.
So
they
we're
sell
buying
their fluoride to us.
Yeah, this is very odd. We're buying a chemical from Belgium, but they don't use it in their own water.
No, they don't believe in it. And there are many other countries that don't believe in it also.
You mentioned animals before. I know that you've had a bit of experience with kangaroos. Perhaps you would like to elaborate on that?
Well, the kangaroos drinking the fluoridated water, and with the fallout near the factories down in the Portland area, have been found to be crippling with the skeletal fluorosis and all sorts of different skeletal problems.
Is that related to fluoridated water?
Well, scientists say that it could very well be related, and also when they were doing the referendum in one of the Victorian cities, a lot of people came up and said that they lived near the Alcoa in Portland, and in that very street there were several of their residents had fallen ill to cancer. So I'm asking the government to please look into the effects that fluoride may have on the community in their health issues, cancers, thyroid problems, etc.
Would you then perhaps be so bold as to put forward the idea that our scientists in Australia are behind the 8 ball? They're actually way back, they're in the dark ages, if they accept fluoridation when so many other countries, especially in Europe, have banned fluoridation.
Yes, I could say that that is so. However, in fairness to them, maybe they haven't had the research dollars to look into it. Just maybe we need to go that step further and actually analyse just what is in the hydrofluorosilicic acid, which is really just a scrubber waste from the industries, from the fertiliser industries.